Ochoa versus Almabayev, Shayrez versus Costa, Jamont versus Pennington, September 27th, Perth Fight Night, and Dana posted 318. Bout order, thoughts. Why have I missed out all these other matchups? Dana posted a 318 bout order. Holloway, Poirier, Costa, Kopylov, Holland, Rodriguez, Ige, Pitbull. It's a weak card, man. I hate these people. Y'all are tripping. This card is fire. They have such low expectations, man. Vettori Allen on the prelims is insane. I think Vettori Allen on the prelims is very bad. But that's such a weak card, dude. Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull's not a draw. Neither is Holland versus Rodriguez, really. Neither is Johnson versus Zellhuber. Neither Costa Kopylov is barely a draw of a fight. You should have 5 draws. 5 very intriguing fights. It's a weak card. Thank you very much for the €5. I know it's bare far in the future, and we don't know what the sitch will be. But if you were one of the MMA gods, what would the White House card look like? It would look like John Jones versus Tom Aspinall in the main event, with a co-main event of Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, with a feature fight of Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, with a 4th fight on the card of like an Arnold Allen versus like an Aljamain Sterling, or an American heavyweight versus Arnold Allen at least. And it would look like that type of theme. I didn't know it would be another UK fighter on the card, but I don't know which one it would be. Not MVP, because he doesn't even have the UK flag on his thing, so it wouldn't fit the vibe. I don't know. What's another UK fighter could be on there? English fighter would be better. It would fit the vibe more. I would theme it like that. Americans versus English, other than the McGregor Chandler card. Probably a debatable take, but I don't rate Islam. He's a weapon, but he's a weight bully. Pretty sure he popped. He did pop once for Meldonium. KO'd by that Joker. And when he didn't pull out or have it on his terms, Volk humbled him. There's a lot of asterisks in Makhachev's entire career, and every time someone's been fully prepared to fight him, they have done extremely well against him. So I do agree. Like, Moises doing better against him than some like other top contenders is weird. But that's because Moises had full preparation compared to Bobby Green taking it on a week's notice, Dan Hooker taking it on a week and a half's notice, Volkanovski taking it on a week's notice in the rematch, and Renato Moicano taking it on a day's notice. I know he's also a top-level fighter, but you'd want full preparation. So yeah, Makhachev does have a ton of asterisks in his career, but it's not his fault. So it hinders him a bit, but I don't let it hinder him that much because it isn't his fault. So that has to come into it a bit. If he was the one pulling out all the time, it would be a different story, but it's not. Do you think the UFC sees your next fight to make videos? I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, if I had a team of people working for the UFC on deciding what should happen next with matchups, I would go on and watch the guy that makes every fight to make next matchups videos that get how many views? I mean, my Ilia Topuria one got nearly 200,000 views. You know? Just to match up the next fights after 317 got 200k views. So, and I'd be on there checking the comments. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I don't think anyone higher up does, but someone in some office somewhere must have something. Because a lot of the things, chat, yes or no, when you're working those types of jobs, it's just doing things to, like, even if they don't change the reality in any way, it just makes you seem like you're doing things productive and busy. So if someone goes into the office one day and says, I spent an hour this morning looking through online content creators and their takes on what matchup should take place next, and I sorted out a document that can filter through the fans' opinions on different matchups that he said, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's that type of bullshit going on in their offices. Do you think Poirier is retiring too early or not? I think, chat, hear me out, yes or no. Poirier's not gonna... If Poirier fights 3 more times, he's not gonna... I think the CTE is already CTE'd. Don't you agree with Dustin Poirier? He's got it. A little bit. And I don't think it will get dramatically worse if he has 3 more fights compared to if this is his last fight with Max Holloway. You know? And he's probably going to make millions. So I think Poirier should stick around. As long as he's in, like, the title conversation, I think he should stick around. Like, if he beats Max Holloway here, they're going to put him in a title elimination bout. Like, if he beats Max Holloway, chat, and calls out Arman Tsarukyan, he's in a title elimination bout in the lightweight division again. So, I don't know. It's up to him, but it makes sense to do it in Louisiana. So, the fact that it's in Louisiana is the only reason that it makes sense. If DDP beats Hamzat, he's 100% the middleweight GOAT, right? Also, would he have to argument for top 8 all-time, especially if he beats the winner of Imavov Kaya? Yes. But here's the thing about the GOAT conversation. I like to wait till the careers end, you know, to really give a direct, perfect analysis of it, because we don't know. If these guys go on losing streaks, things massively change, you know? Like, people are discussing, chat, yes or no? People are discussing Ilia Topuria in the GOAT conversation now. If he loses to Arman Tsarukyan, he's immediately, like, not even top 5. And I'm not kidding. Even though he has the same wins on his resume, people wouldn't discuss him as a GOAT anymore. Just like that, you know? So, I don't know. I feel like we should wait. But, I don't mind the take that Dricus du Plessis is really, really close. I think Dricus is really close to a GOAT status thing. Yeah, if he beats, like, Chimaev and then the winner of Baralho Mavov, I think there's no debate and he's the middleweight GOAT for sure. I think Adesanya was really close. If Adesanya would have, like, beaten Strickland, the conversation would have began, you know? And Adesanya did have good wins other than that, but yeah, if he would have got past Strickland and got past that Strickland fight, that would be a big discussion. So I don't think Dricus is that far off. Can you explain to my friend Charlie why Izzy is not the GOAT at middleweight? I mean, he arguably is up there with Anderson, but I mean, since he started, the thing that he had over Anderson Silva is that he hadn't started losing yet. You know what I mean? That was the thing. So Anderson Silva is the middleweight GOAT, but Israel Adesanya, he hadn't started losing yet. That was the thing that he had over him. But to be honest with you, Adesanya might also be above Anderson Silva, middleweight GOAT status-wise, to be honest with you. So I don't even think that's even that bad of a take, but I would say that his losses recently have really hindered him, especially the one to Imavov by KO. That's really bad, you know? So, and he's still in his prime. Anderson broke his leg, you know? Really badly broke his leg, had a lot of time off, snapped his leg in half, pretty much, got KO'd before that. So it was a little different of a downfall for him where you could understand it, whereas Adesanya is still in his prime and shouldn't really be having a downfall that he's having, so it's more based on his skill. So I don't know. Guru's back. Impression of Paddy slaughtering. I give it a 5. I disagree. Is there something Adesanya could do to make you like him? Adesanya is quite likable, but he's just so cool. Like, there's moments where he's likable, and he seems quite cool, but I don't know. He's just corny as fuck, dude. I fucking hate all the things he was doing while he was champ, and a couple good moments don't make me forget all of the years of corny cringe and lies and all of this shit, dude. The Dricus stuff and the cancer stuff. It was all weird. Hope you're doing well, Guru. 317 was the best card we've had in a while. It was very good. It was very good. I'm doing well, man. I'm just focusing on the channel and the UFC. Just lose my mind a bit sometimes when there's no UFC on the weekend. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I certainly do. If there's no UFC on, I just kind of, I'm lost. You know, I have nothing. I have nothing without the UFC being on the weekend. So it's back. So I'm back in existence of life, out of bed. I could see Joshua Van knocking down Pantoja and getting a slightly early stoppage that people will complain about. Okay. Pereira versus Yuri 1, O'Malley versus Aljo. That type of... I don't... Chat, yes or no? O'Malley versus Aljo is an absolutely fine stoppage. I understand the argument for Pereira versus Yuri 1, but I do not see the argument whatsoever for saying that the Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley stoppage was early. I don't get that. It was like an extremely valid TKO. I don't think there's in the conversation of that type of thing. I think it's absolutely fine. In fact, I think it could have been stopped earlier. It's just because he rolled over at the end that made it look bad. But if that was stopped like before he rolled over, that would be absolutely fine. And no one would say anything. Emmett needs to move up to lightweight. No, he doesn't. Thank you for the $5. Featherweight is weak enough. Dude, I was looking at the featherweight division the other day, chat. Isn't it a fucking weak-ass division? Max Holloway is ranked number 1 at featherweight, but hear me out, chat. If they remove Holloway's name when he fights Dustin Poirier, which they will, Yair Rodriguez will be legitimately number 3 in the division. You know how weak of a division that is? How's Yair in your top 3? off of what he's been doing over the past few years. Like, legitimately as well. Like, wow, that actually makes sense that he's top 3. That's horrible. That's a weak-ass division, dude. Featherweight fell off, for real. Dun, dun, dun. Yair isn't even bad. Yeah, but he hasn't done anything. And he's number 3 in the world. That's just bad ranking. So who would you put him above? I don't think I'd put Arnold Allen above him. Nor would I put Brian Ortega above him. And they're number 5 and 6. To Yair's 4. Yair's good, but to see him at number 3 in the ranking for what he's done over the past 3 years of his career is not a person that should be number 3 in your division. So it speaks to the weakness of featherweight, to be honest with you. Or maybe it speaks to the lack of mobility in the division. A lot of these contenders aren't getting their shot, but now they will. Gene Silva, Yusuf Zalal, David Onama. A lot of these guys coming up. Lerone Murphy. So we'll see. Tapology is picking Saeed Nurmagomedov at 60% versus Bryce Mitchell for his move down to bantamweight. What's your take on the fight? I can see Bryce Mitchell winning because I don't think Saeed Nurmagomedov is as great as his name would suggest. You know, he's not that championship level Nurmagomedov strain, it seems. But I do worry about the fight because he has a really nasty guillotine if people put their head on the outside position, and he has a really nasty ninja choke as well if people shoot with their head on the inside. And if Bryce is going to go out there and try and muscle him around, I can maybe see him getting guillotined. So that's my worry. If JDM lost to Islam, what other 170 do you think could win? If JDM got like, it depends. If JDM like flukily lost to Islam Makhachev or lost a decision where Makhachev showed a lot of weakness, then it would be a different situation where I maybe would pick some other guys to potentially beat Makhachev at 170. But if Makhachev were to out-grapple JDM and just submit him early in the fight, or at any point within the first 3 rounds with not all that much resistance in the fight, I wouldn't pick many welterweights or any of them to beat him, other than maybe like a Sean Brady, but then I think he would get outstruck, seeing as Bilal TKO'd his ass. Which UFC fighter is most likely to get deported? Ooh. Moreno. I think it's Moreno. No, Moreno seems like he'd be a credit to the community. Kelvin Gastelum, dude. You can't be out-eating your, you know, your share of the economy's food and still stick around, so sling your up, mate. See you in Guadalajara, amigo. Anyway, when did the Joe Rogan video come in? The Joe Rogan video is coming after the stream. It's a good one. Lucas Tracy's top 50. I don't want to fucking hear about it. It's not even that bad, to be honest with you, but he's really pioneering the charge of the take of the new guys are way better than the older guys in terms of resume. They are, but I think we should let things marinate first because we don't know how things end, but he's getting ahead of the curve. Have you seen Flucas's GOAT tier list? I know, dude. He's just getting ahead of the curve and saying that, you know, the new guys are better than the old guys. It's the take. It is the take to have. My thing about Lucas Tracy here's the thing, chat. Lucas Tracy's GOAT list, it will change without any of the fighters actually fighting. Like, I know that his opinion changes on it. But his GOAT list is interesting at times. I feel like Makhachev wasn't number 1 on his GOAT list last time I saw him make it. And since the last time he's made a GOAT list video, Makhachev just vacated the belt, and now Makhachev is number 1 on his GOAT list. So I don't know how these guys are getting certain positions changed, but maybe he's just sort of like micro-analyzing his qualifications and shit. But I don't mind it, to be honest with you. I just didn't see some of the extended takes. I just saw the top ones. I didn't look too deep into it. Flukas GOAT. Thoughts on Flukas putting Arman 18 all time? Hang on a second. Let me see what his fucking GOAT list is. Let me actually get a look at it, because I saw someone mention Arman being on there. I heavily fucking disagree with Armand Sarukian being number 18 all time. Armand Sarukian is to Lucas Tracy above Aljamain Sterling on the GOAT list. I think that's fucking So just, like, I don't mind his overall consensus takes about Merab and Volk and Topuria and Makhachev. Like, I do think that they're at the pinnacle of the sport. Like, they're actually at the top of the GOAT list. Like, they're fighting for some of the top spots. Like, if you're going to include Jones, though, I do think he needs to be number one. Just being honest. If you're going to include him, he has to be number one in a way. I just don't include him in my GOAT list. But yeah, he has Aljamain Sterling in the 26 to 30 range. And he has Arman in the 16 to 25 range at 18 or some shit. Which is insane. So that's pretty interesting. He has Arman Sarukian above Oliveira. Above Oliveira. If this is the way he's lining things up. Above Adesanya. This is it. Yeah, I'm done. Rage bait. He's rage baiting for views. This is what he wanted. He wanted me to discuss this on the stream because of how ridiculous it was. And this is going to lead him to getting more viewers. His promotion techniques have worked. Didn't Arman get slept by Joaquin Silva? He nearly did. He got wobbled badly by Joaquin Silva. What is Lucas Tracy seeing in Arman Sarukian? Sorry, he's truly rage baited me here with that. Let me have a look at Arman Sarukian's resume real quick. Chat, yes or no, yeah? I'm going to have a take here. I feel like Arman Sarukian is kind of like... Oh, no, I don't want to say it. Never mind. I don't get that. I don't get how he has Arman so high. He has Arman, like, just behind Stipe and Dricus du Plessis. Above Dominic Cruz, above Charles Oliveira, above Poirier. What has he done? He beat Oliveira by split decision. Beneil Dariush, which is a good win. I'm not counting Joaquin Silva as like a legitimate win. Or really, Demiris Maglov's a good win, but not... I don't think it's that legacy granting. Joel Alvarez is a good win. I rate that more than some like title defenses in the Unk's resumes. I understand those types of arguments, but I just don't see too many other names other than that would really warrant any type of hype. Yes, rage bait. Absolute rage bait. Don't get that at all. He's got Arman above Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling was like, if he would have beat O'Malley, we would have had the bantamweight GOAT discussion. You know? Just because he lost to Evloev by close decision. I don't see how that's a thing. Losing to Evloev by close decision is like losing to Gamrot by close decision. A lot of people think that he won that fight. Anyway. Who does Paddy and Gaethje fight next? Hopefully each other. Hopefully each other. Hopefully we get Arman Sarukian on this Chicago card. Against, you know, like a Gamrot or a Dan Hooker or, you know, anyone he can get his hands on. I don't mind seeing that in the meantime. Like an Ilia Topuria, Arman Sarukian fight in the meantime. I just think Arman needs another name on his resume. He has Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, and not much else other than that, which makes it even more insane that Lucas Tracy has him above some of the names that he does on his GOAT list at number 18. Fucking insane. I just think you need like a collection, like a handful of really solid names. Even if you want to overturn the Gamrot win, I just would like it to be official. Like official wins, like a good handful of them on his resume. Like you'd have Joel Alvarez, Beneil Dariush, Charles Oliveira, and then, you know, the official win over Gamrot or a Dan Hooker or someone. I want him to fight again before. So Ilia Topuria's legacy is great because he's fought really deserving contenders. And that'll be the same for Paddy and Gaethje if they beat each other. Impression of... Do we actually think Hooker has any chance against Arman? I'm not even sure if he beat Gamrot. Yeah, but he had a close fight with Gamrot that you're not even sure that he really won. Arman Sarukian arguably won a fight with Gamrot. So when you really think about it, chat, even though, yes or no, chat, Arman Sarukian is considered a way higher level than Dan Hooker. He's really not that much higher of a level fighter. You know? He really isn't. Like, Dan Hooker is a solid, good win and a solid level lightweight fighter. A really, really good fighter. So, yeah. I just think people get caught up with thinking someone lost when they should have won and won when they should have lost. And it's like the Paddy Pimblett, Jared Gordon thing. Like, Jared Gordon is good. Like, people would say Jared Gordon was good after that fight, but then Pimblett was shit, even though it was a very close fight. So I think they're not too many levels off, but Arman is a better fighter than Dan Hooker. But I'd love to see the fight. I don't think a top contender being considered better than someone lower than them in the rankings is a reason for them not to fight that person. That's bullshit. We got to find out. You know, it's about consistency and always having good performances and having a resume when you fight for a belt. Of course, you're considered better than the guy below you in the rankings. That's not a reason not to fucking fight them. Otherwise, the sport wouldn't fucking exist. Did you see Fluka's top 50 fighters of all time? He had Yan above Cruz. I don't mind the Yan above Cruz argument. I don't think Cruz's argument to GOAT status is that strong, to be honest with you, in hindsight. But the Arman being above, like, Aljo and shit is just fucking rage bait retardedness. So I don't really care for it. Once I see that, I know it's not entirely serious and he is joking in some ways. But I don't mind his argument about some of the top guys. But I do think if you're including Jones, he is number one. I just don't include him. But if you're including Jones, he's number one above Islam Makhachev and Volkanovski and Topuria. If he's included and going off of his resume. Absolutely he is. But yeah, I just don't have him in my list. So that's that. Did you see Fluka's top 50? Thank you very much. Look real quick at Peter Yan on Lucas's list. I don't want to keep doing this where we're going back to his fucking list all the time, dude. It's clearly rage bait. But I don't mind Yan being above, like, Dominic Cruz. So, I mean, unless I see some crazy names below him, I don't mind that at all. I don't see many names below him. I feel like, where did he put Aljo compared to Yan? I don't know, man. I'm not doing this. It'd just be too much. I can't even see where he put Yan, and I'm not sitting through the whole thing. Oh my God, Yan's in 6 to 10, and Aljo's where? Aljo's in 26 to 30. Aljo is ranked 26 to 30 range of all time, and Yan is ranked 6 to 10 range of all time. Yeah, he's rage baiting, guys. He's rage baiting on some of them. I understand his takes on a lot of them, but he is rage baiting on some. I don't know. I'm not taking it too seriously, man.